What do I do now?
Huh.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
Wow.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a numbered episode of the Brewcast podcast because I'm too lazy to look it up.
Episode something.
I died last
30-something.
week, so there was a unofficial episode hosted by Cartooner.
It was awful.
And
It was great. You were on
I have become a busy
Take
individual.
pride.
I did
so-
cry.
We're
Well,
back
I
here. I'm just gonna keep trucking forward. We're back here with these idiots. There are 5 of us this week.
Yeah, 5
Yeah,
idiots.
we know what the number 5 is. Get your hand
Their
over.
hands are awfully dirty there, Chris.
They are. Are they?
Go wash
I guess
'em.
they are. Yeah, I've been working on stage all day. Yeah, we got 5 people. We have Sidan, we have Rivet, we have Cartooner and Black Ops. Obviously, if you can read, you can see that already. I've been working with snarky people all day, so I'm gonna be snarky.
Good. Perfect.
It's just how I like it. Anyways, yeah. So we're here. Stuff?
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Never
have
do
you
a
guys
podcast after drunk gaming with Kit.
seen
Drunk
the
Gaming
release
Reasons.
date for Force Awakens DVD? Yeah.
August
Been out for a
19th.
while.
Thanks to Duracell.
No, it's April 5th. So
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know it's been up for pre-order in my local Walmart for like a month.
yeah, it's been a pre-order for a while, but now they officially said April 5th. I think it's April 18th in like the UK or
I
something.
don't know.
But yeah,
I'll probably buy it because I want to see that movie again.
Get your own real lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
So
not
does
like-
that mean we won't be able to see it at the theaters after that day?
Is it still? Yeah, actually, yeah, it's still in theaters.
It's
Just
still in
remembered.
theaters now. so-
Yeah, there's one I drove by the other day that saw it, and I just remember seeing it. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
Words.
thinking about going to see it one more time in theaters just to.
I might
See
do
what
it.
time
There's you have to have a theater all to yourself at this point. If you're gonna go and see it right
yeah.
now, you're gonna be the only person in there.
Actually, you'd think that for any other movie at this point, but it is Star Wars.
I don't
And
know.
so-
I might go see it again.
I might go see it. What is it today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Let's go see it.
If there was a decent theater in my town, I'd go see it.
Oh, they're all crack houses in my town. I still go.
Yeah,
Well, I
Star
mean,
Wars is worth it.
In terms of decent, they literally played 2 movies that are really obscure and have terrible ratings.
So you live in a college town.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sounds perfect. Can
So
I
one
go
of the
see
movies
movies
that we're
there?
talking about, is it Postal?
Why would we? What?
What?
Postal was
Is
out
that-
like years ago.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
you said
Star
one.
Wars too. What are you on about?
He said one of the terrible movies. That
Oh,
released.
right. Terrible. Okay.
Postal.
Gotcha. I figured it out. Sorry, I'm a little slow.
So
Sorry.
it's you got to get used to like with Black Ops' inane references to old horror movies.
Yeah, no.
I'm surprised he didn't talk about the Blob.
No, it wasn't the reference to Postal. It was
Nah.
the timing of Postal that it, for some reason, just went right over my head. My apologies.
Did you see Postal?
I have not. No, but I still know that it exists at the very least.
Unfortunately, it's probably one of the better Uwe Ball movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's the
I
guy
was-
that kills video game movies, so.
I've been watching different things on like Samurai Cop recently over the past few days, like interviews with him because he did an interview with Red Letter Media a couple years ago, and it's the guy is the whole everything about the movie is pretty funny. If you guys ever look into it at all, that's one of those classic kind of god awful movies. But then you hear that the reason it was awful was because the whole thing was just a big shit show, and the guy who was directing, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he basically had no idea what was going on the whole time. But he's kind of like, I got to make my movie, and so and then he Samurai Cop. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just on my phone started buzzing. Yeah.
Everyone just looking at me.
He's just sort of just yeah. You carry it, man.
Yeah, you,
I will. All right.
You're doing
the
a great
cartoon
job.
podcast.
You're carrying it
Huh.
like a
So
Carry the
9-month
team.
baby. I don't know.
oh, here, hold on. All right.
you got topics this week, Cartooner?
I got a prop. Okay. So, what?
I recognize
Is he gonna
that.
start doing magic?
What is this thing? What is it?
It's a hoodie.
It's a hoodie.
Fucking jacket.
Wait, okay, Chris, what did you say?
Hoodie.
Hoodie?
Hoodie.
Black Ops? What,
Jacket.
hoodie? Jacket? Okay. So, but you wouldn't call it a sweater, would you?
No,
I know people who would.
Exactly. It's a a friend of mine doesn't seem to understand that. He just generalizes all as sweater, and he says I'm crazy because I call it a sweatshirt, but I'm not. I'm not crazy. It's a sweatshirt. It is. It's not a sweater. That's
No,
stupid.
it's a hoodie.
What
He
did
says-
you do to Cartooner last week?
He says, "Oh, lots of people,
What
We
did you
broke him.
do to him?
he
we
says
broke
lots
him.
of people call it sweater." But
Okay,
he's-
no. The problem with Cartooner is he finally stopped editing his video, so now he's got all this angst that he was like holding up for 3 weeks while he was editing like crazy. This is the crazy that's left over.
what this is my friend pisses me off whenever he makes stupid points. Like
That's
he
when you
says,
get rid of
"Oh,
friends like that.
Indiana Jones is better than Back to the Future," which is obviously just not true. So anyway, so I'm gonna link him to this podcast. And I'm gonna show him that he's wrong. It's either a hoodie or a jacket or a sweatshirt, but it's not a fucking sweater because that's stupid. So I'm gonna
Anything
have
else?
Or
a
the people
sweater.
telling you it's not a sweater.
It's not a sweater. You're right. It's not. That's just silly. It's silly. It's silly.
Now, Cartooner, I have to correct you on one thing. When you said it was a sweatshirt, that's incorrect as well.
Why?
A sweatshirt's the same material, but it doesn't have a zipper. A zipper dictates it to become a hoodie. A sweatshirt is actually one that you just pull over your head.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm not calling this. I'm not
You
calling.
called it a
Or a
sweatshirt.
pullover.
I'm not calling it a hoodie. That's all I'm saying.
It's
All
a
right.
Hoodie,
Okay,
hoodie,
fine,
hoodie,
it's
hoodie.
Jesus Christ.
Does it have a hood on it?
Yeah, it
It's a
does.
hoodie.
It's a
It's
hoodie.
I know it's a hoodie. I'm just not calling it a hoodie. That's all. I'm generalizing on a sweatshirt because I think that sounds better than stupid sweater. Because I'm not goddamn Mr. Rogers.
No, he wore cardigans.
Hmm.
There's a difference. I'm an old fart. I'm going to be the curmudgeon of this thing, and I will correct everything. Sober.
Next up, raisins. Yay or nay?
Nay.
What the hell's a raisin?
What?
It looks like what a mouse shits, and it kind of tastes like that too.
And it's 6 to
Oh, you mean dried grapes? Hell no, I haven't eaten those things in 7 years.
Yeah, because they're disgusting, right? All right, proving me right once again. Thank you, Brew Game Network. Oh, and then
Do you have a list of these things?
He does.
every podcast on the planet has had the standing versus sitting debate. So
No, we're not having this debate.
I'm not having a debate. You're right. We're not having a debate because we all know sitting is what you do.
I don't understand how you stand.
Exactly. Because you stand up, boom, floodgates are closed. You're not getting literal.
I
shit
mean, like,
out of-
I can understand if you, like, propped your leg up on something. Like, if you're...
Like, let your balls hang down.
You gotta
Yeah.
be like, you gotta just, like, prop your leg up. And you got...
Yeah. Either way, you're right.
Thank you for the visualization, Chris, because I couldn't
You-
figure out what that would be.
Chris, you made
And
a
I'm
very
glad
good point.
Stan's not doing it because I know he's not wearing pants at the moment.
Yeah, you were doing
I'm glad I came back for this.
Listen,
Yeah,
so
I never said I wasn't wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. They're not
So-
pants.
See, I told you, he's got no pants on.
this standing versus sitting thing has never been a debate with me or any of my friends or anyone I really know. But I like you listen to different podcasts. and stuff,
yeah,
and
I've
they
never
all-
had this
and
debate
they
in real
have
life.
They have that debate. And it's like, who stands? They're a
Hold on.
goddamn.
Why do you want to be like every other podcast? A bunch of freaking lemmings.
I'm not being like every. It's just a topic people talk about. And it's
Why bring it
important.
up? It's
It's
pointless.
important. That's why I bring it up. It's important.
Imported. It's imported from another podcast.
Yeah, okay, so we all agree sitting is a good idea. Standing just makes you look stupid.
Jesus.
Well, who cares about looking stupid when you're in the bathroom taking a crap?
I do.
Just, you don't
Listen,
want
that's the
people
best place to
seeing
take a
you.
selfie
Exactly.
It's true. Lots of
Or
people
play
do it.
Angry
There's a
Birds.
reason for that.
or talk to yourself.
So, okay,
Or
learn
how to pray.
this is the last thing I've thought of. But actually, it's not really the same kind of thing. So me and Black Ops have been playing Castle Crashers a bit over the last bit of time, and do you guys you guys played that at all? Castle
No.
Crashers?
God damn it, 2
I
minutes,
think
man.
vaguely a long time ago.
Because there's this mode where you have the map and it's all tiled, and the way you move around is you hit the select tile. So it's like to move this way, for the one tile it'll be B, but then it'll be X, then it'll be Y, or arrow keys or whatever. And it's a goddamn bitch. Let me tell you. Me and Black Ops have spent so much time trying to get to 2 minutes, and we can't do it. It's hard because then eventually what happens is these little people come after you, and then when they get close, they don't stop. They get faster and they keep coming and they keep coming, and you die.
Chris, you can edit this out at any moment. Is fine.
I'm mentally editing this out. That's why I'm just sitting here with a blank face.
I now I understand why Armor actually plays dwarves versus zombies when we start talking Fallout.
We don't have a Fallout 4 topic this week. It made me kind of sad.
Goody.
I told you, Black Ops.
Who wants to talk about Fallout 4 anyway? And there's
Done.
stupid
Survival
DLC that went up. We do have a topic. They finally increased the price of season pass, and it's
don't buy it
stupid.
if you don't want it. Jesus Christ, why is this even a?
Because it's stupid. Because season pass
It's
Here you
not
go, Chris.
stupid.
This can be your
Season passes are
screenshot
stupid.
for the
If you
thumbnail.
want to buy a DLC, then buy the specific. Because obviously, 3 out of the what or 2 out of the how many?
I would not be having this problem if every single person came back to me with the argument, but if you buy the season pass, it's totally worth it. I would not care, but that's every person on the internet.
How many of the DLCs or did they announce? I can't remember. Is it 3 or
There's like 3 of them, but they're all but 1 are pointless.
The Far Harbor one is the only one that's worth any money, right?
Yeah.
So buy the Far Harbor. Fuck the other ones.
Exactly.
You're saving the money. Whether you bought the season pass or not, you're saving money. Because honestly, the other things are just gonna get modded in at some point anyway. For the people who are, oh wait, I don't actually have to buy things that are given to people.
Yeah.
Just because something is up for sale doesn't mean you have to pay for it. And so the fact that there's any discussion about this is some of the fucking dumbest things I've ever heard. Because I know you guys got mad, but 2 of you made rants videos about it.
Well, people get.
Why?
I wouldn't have this problem if
You
people.
don't need to buy it. It's just,
Yeah, I know, but
you
people
buy
get so butthurt about it.
You don't need to buy the season pass. It doesn't matter if the season pass is getting more expensive. If the people want to buy the season pass, they'll buy the fucking season pass. But if they don't want the season pass, they'll just buy each individual DLC they want. And
Did you take helium before you started this thing?
You're speeding up. It's like
Freaking Mickey Mouse on crack. What the fuck was that?
I
That was the most insane rant I've ever heard out of anybody in this goddamn network. What the hell? I swear to God.
just kept speeding up. I was hoping he did light speed.
It was like, how many,
ludicrous speed.
you were like fuck the Millennium Falcon speed. Like we hit cartooner speed. It was just like, dear Lord, that's not verbal diarrhea. That was verbal warp speed. Dear God, man.
I do what I can.
You need to get laid.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Now,
The
Chris,
basics
I'm
of
gonna
the-
I'm gonna I'm gonna
Don't
talk
buy the DLC.
rationally. You don't have to buy the DLC. You don't have to buy any of this stuff. But what they did do this week was they updated a new patch to Fallout that added the survival mode.
Good.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about Fallout 4.
Can we just please be done so he doesn't go on another freaking rant again?
Yeah, I don't feel like ranting.
Because I think after this,
It's
he's
only
gonna
what,
suck
in
from
10
an
minutes?
oxygen
We're
mask.
gonna.
We're 12 minutes in right now.
12
Thanks
minutes.
for coming to the podcast,
Plenty.
everybody.
There's plenty of rants. to
Yeah, the
Well-
entire dialogue of an entire podcast in 35 seconds. It's over.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk
It's-
anymore.
And
go.
we're
You
sponsored by
just want to
Vanilla
talk
Mushroom.
politics some more? We did that last week on the.
No, this is the official one. God, no. I've been talking about politics all day. I don't want to talk about politics anymore.
God, I've been hearing about politics all
Some
day.
people-
I'm not ready to
Okay,
hear
how about this one? No Man's Sky is
People have been
confirmed for
debating
June 21st. Everybody's excited about that. Yeah, woo!
I mean,
Said
it
about what?
looks like it's something you waste a lot of time in. I don't know.
I didn't even hear what you were saying.
Isn't that what video games are?
No Man's Sky
No.
is
Waste
confirmed
a lot of
to
time
be
in.
launching on
No.
June 21st.
I have to look this up.
Space simulators are becoming a big trend now. In 5 years, we'll hate them. But
It's just what you do in that game is you fly from planet to planet, and then that's it. And people are losing their shit about it, and I don't know why.
I want to fly
don't
to Planet to
it's-
Planet.
I
basically
don't
my-
understand what it is about this game. It's the same way. Elite Dangerous is the same thing, and I love
Yeah.
that game. It's like the same thing with truck simulators. All you're doing is driving around from place to place. It's oddly relaxing.
The only reason I bought American Truck Simulator is because I had fun making my Euro Truck Simulator video, and I figured I'd do that too. Do American Truck, but basically, so why do people care about No Man's Sky? Why do people care about the DLC? It doesn't matter because like, I don't know. At this point,
Don't
just-
ask.
I
It all
don't know.
comes down to people's
Like-
opinions.
people who buy video games don't make any goddamn sense.
It all comes
What?
down to opinions. Every person who plays video games has a different opinion on what they like in games.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Like what I like is probably completely different from what you people like. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy No
Not too
Man's
different.
Sky or for $60, but I enjoy that type of game. I like Elite
Yeah.
Dangerous, and it's the same. Basically, it's the same thing with from a different
Now I'm
company.
looking at it. It says it's for PS4.
It's for
And
PC too.
it's on Steam too. I actually have it on my wish list because I'll probably play it at some point because it seems cool enough. But at the same time, it's like people have been talking about it for quite a while now. But it's like there's not that much to it. Where I don't know why.
It's
people
one of those
would
things
get
that started
excited
out
as they are.
like Star Citizen. It's like it's a really unique concept. Like you have
Is
an
it though?
open
'Cause it
world
isn't,
space
because
simulator.
You just said that.
And then, like I
Dangerous is the
said,
same thing.
It's
So it's not that
literally
deep.
it's just flying from planet to planet going, ooh, look, this is cool. And for some people,
It's like-
it's really cool. I enjoy it. For other people, they're like, that's really stupid. I'd rather go shoot at something for 4 hours. Which
Yeah,
is
but-
cool. You could do whatever you want.
And I think it would be cool, but it's like there's they say that you can meet other people, but they have also said that the likelihood of that is so minuscule. So it kind of ends up being you alone in space, flying from planet to planet.
But
And
the
kinda
where because it's like
what's the point?
I said, it's like the thing with Elite Dangerous is an MMO too, and you run into people.
Okay.
and
Oh,
that's,
so there's an MMO, so there's more to it than just flying planet. to
well,
planet.
it's just fly. It's basically just flying to planet from planet to planet with other people around
Yeah,
you,
well,
and
okay,
every now
well-
and again they can pull out of space and be like, "I'm gonna take all your stuff," or not.
Okay, so there's already more to it than No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I don't know how No Man's Sky is gonna do it. I don't know anything about the game. other than it's
It'll
space
probably
zone.
do great because, like I said, people have been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna sell millions, and it could be the most terrible game in the world, and it's
I don't-
developers
it
are still
looks
gonna
like
have
it'll-
Coke buckets for days.
like I think at the very least it'll be polished. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like the fact
Yeah.
people complaining about Fallout DLC is the same thing as people being hyped for No Man's Sky. It's kind of like why doesn't make any sense to me because it's just people that is crazy.
Rabid fanboyism.
Yeah, but what I mean, why would they be fanboys about it? The game isn't out yet. They don't. I mean, they don't. They haven't. Nobody's experienced it.
People are excited for it.
Is it going to have
Were you
VR
excited for
support?
Star Wars before it came out?
Yeah, but I've seen Star Wars before.
Yeah, but were you
not
excited?
this
Have you
one.
seen the new movie? Did you see the new movie before it came out? Were you
I've seen
excited
Star
for it
Wars-
before it came
listen,
out?
Listen,
Your argument was
there's
going.
nothing to be a fanboy about because there's nothing there to just as like a baseline. There's just kind of fanboy. would
There's
be
E3
something-
demos, there's trailers,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
all sorts
This is,
of
it's not like they're saying.
photos
It's not like they're holding up a
developers
picture and saying this is the thing we're gonna do. You should buy it. And everyone's like, yeah, people have seen this
But
stuff.
I mean, for
and they're
Star Wars, it's
excited
like
for it.
this is already like no one. People might have been excited for Star Wars, but no one was fanboying because. I mean,
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like Star Wars 1977 Star Wars. I'm not talking.
No,
about,
no,
like,
no. I'm
Force
talking
Awakens.
about movie just came out.
Yeah, no, I know. But I'm saying so, and I'm getting there. So no one was fanboying.
Oh, dear God.
People might have been excited about the original Star Wars, but no one was fanboying because there's nothing to fanboy about because no one had experienced it yet. And it's the same thing with so people are excited for No Man's Sky, but you can't be a fanboy about something that doesn't exist yet. You know.
You'd be surprised. You would be surprised.
I think basically it's the same thing as you calling everything the industry. It's like it's just the wrong terminology.
No, well, you can people are fanboying over like the Oculus Rift and all
Yeah,
this other
that's not
stuff.
wrong.
Even though before it comes out, people fanboy
use
about the
that.
next Xbox.
Well, people
thing
have played No
before-
Man's
before it
Sky
gets
too.
released.
There've probably
Okay.
been tech demos out there for people to play.
With new consoles and stuff. If there's a previous iteration to kind of have a baseline for, then
Okay,
that's,
so what about the company that's making this game? Could they have put out games before that people are fans of, and
they
then that
have.
would be what they?
As far as I'm aware, they haven't.
But then you're assuming something, and you
And then
know,
there's
I'm
also
assuming.
there's
That is-
also
you're right.
the
That is an
there's also
assumption.
the thing of the
I will check.
genre. There's obviously
check.
games like that, like Elite Dangerous, that
Yeah.
have
Well,
that
yeah.
are
I mean, people have already
similar
played that.
genres.
People
So
have
people are
played.
like, ooh, a game that is large and procedural generated. It looks cool, and I want to buy it because
Well,
I
yeah,
played
I'm
this
not
other
saying-
game that's also similar.
Honestly, all I'm really arguing is I'm personally not excited. I don't see the reason for it. But what I'm arguing right now is the the term fanboy because I think it's being improperly used. That's all.
You think every term's being improperly used? Your use of
Because you
improperly
use a lot
used
of-
is being improperly
you
used.
use,
Rivet.
you use a lot of words improperly.
what's up, Black Ops?
Hand
Do
me a
not.
whiskey, please. It's gonna be a long.
I
night.
can't. I drank it all last weekend.
It's gonna be a long night.
Sky.
I've tuned out.
No Man's Sky.
I'm just playing Creativerse over here.
It's done by Hello Games. They have a
Okay.
bunch of other projects.
Do they have other releases though?
Yeah, Joe Danger.
Hell's
I think it just comes down to it's a really cool concept and people are excited to see what happens
Is
with it.
that
People
cool,
are
though?
allowed to, yeah, it's an open world space simulation.
It's basically,
But it's a genre that existed for a long time that had that was stagnant for quite a few years.
Yeah,
that
and now it's
we've
coming back.
talked
Now that we
about
have-
having come back.
Now they have all the cool technology to make it look real, because like when it originally came out, because I did this as part of my Elite Dangerous thing, it
Wait.
was all just like 8-bit pixelates, and it's like that's really
Now-
cool. But now
how-
that we have the technology to render all these planets and stuff, everyone's really excited. People like
Yeah.
space. There's
I mean,
cool-
that's-
So, but I mean, if there's Chris is gone. If there is a
Come on.
open world space game to be excited for, really it should be Star Citizen because at least in that game, you're going to these planets, but at least there's stuff to do when you get there. Because No Man's Sky is just kind of it's just
But-
empty planets.
You know what though? I mean, you're talking about the same insanity that Minecraft is.
How so?
What's there to do in Minecraft?
that's
It's an
basically
open
what
world
Minecraft
concept.
is. You just walk
Well,
around
but
in
there's-
different worlds and there's blocks.
Yeah,
and,
but
yeah,
now there's
kill
stuff.
things.
There's stuff you're able to do in that game. What
there
is there
now?
to do?
I watched
Now, but when it
watched
came
a tech
out, though.
demo. I watched a tech demo of No Man's Sky of one of the developers playing it, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah, I've seen
definitely a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean,
don't-
like, okay, like what? Though? I'm curious. I'm actually not sure.
There's trading, there's
They're doing
industry,
something
there's
we
it's
don't know.
basically GTA in space.
Wait, trading
It's
and
randomly-
trading what with who? There's nothing there.
Well, there's civilizations that are on the planets. There's robots that you kill and you get your notoriety up. There's
Oh
stuff
my God,
to do. It's
Civ
not just
5.
wandering. It's not just a walking sim or space walking.
It's basically just, I mean, really, I can't. The more and more I read about this game, because I haven't looked at anything about this game other than the fact that people are super hyped for it. The more and more I read into this game, it sounds just like Elite Dangerous, because it's pretty much what you're doing in Elite Dangerous. You just go from station to station, you buy
Yeah.
stuff, you stealth stuff, and you hope you don't get raped by space pirates.
I'm kind of excited about it because it's driving Cartooner insane.
Yeah, I am
I'll-
too. I
that
might
makes
buy
me
this
really
game
excited
now.
about getting the game. Well, you know what? That kind of brings me to like the new Far Cry Primal. Has
Yeah,
anyone
let's
else
talk about
played that?
No, but
No, I
everyone
don't want to.
everyone who's played it
course.
so far says it's not that great, and from what I've seen of it, it's not that great.
No.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm
you're taking
that
out the fun
weirdo
bits
that
of Far
actually is
Cry.
having an amazing time with it.
Really?
You
Do you know
seem
why?
you seem easily amused though.
Well, I talk to you on a daily basis, but yeah,
Exactly.
I
Exactly
mean,
what I'm saying. You're proving
what
my
I'm
point.
enjoying in it is the things that drive a lot of people crazy. Is it's actually a slower pace. There is a lot of stuff you can like. There is a lot of like gathering and like resource gathering and building to do in the
Well,
game.
what that goes down to is what I said earlier. Everybody has their own opinions on how everything is handled, and
Well, yeah,
basically,
I'm-
internet culture right now is if you don't agree with my opinion, up yours.
Now, yeah,
That's
I'm like
basically
that.
what it's come
I'm
down
like
to.
that with a lot of my opinions.
I've noticed.
Yeah, no. Well,
More,
I mean,
listen, I'm way worse with the friend. The friend who I brought up the sweatshirt thing with. I'm way worse with it. Me and him, we do not accept the word opinion as like, a real word.
you know what?
We're
Carter,
just-
I'm
we're
surprised you
talking-
don't have athlete's tongue because you put your foot in your mouth so many freaking times. I mean, you spend half your day with your foot in your mouth. But I mean, like Far Cry Primal, it is like it's a pretty game. It's the exact same map from Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
Why? Because they took the exact same area and put it back in the Stone Age. And people are freaked out because it's the same area that they say that the developers were lazy and that it was this. I mean, I don't really care. I don't have to
personally
worry
think
about a
it's-
bunch of idiots chasing me with guns. I don't have to get run
I
over
think-
by cars.
I
I
think-
personally
I got a
think that
guy
whole
that
thing is
chased me with a
cool
mammoth.
because I personally think that whole thing is cool because I mean it's the same spot in the actual world.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of ties the games together.
Yeah.
It's not just
Well,
ambiguous.
I think it's-
Here's a
Together.
place.
I think it all sounds really cool. I think a problem a lot of people are complaining about is it's a full price game. It's $60, and for basically you're using a lot of assets for an older game. Especially with Ubisoft's track record, people already don't like Ubisoft, so people are already going to
Yeah.
complain about anything Ubisoft does. But
At least I'm
when
not
they
complaining
reuse
about
that
being
level of
Ubisoft.
assets and they say, "Take here's $60 full price," because game prices right now are a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know what though? You could do like I did, and I went off of CD keys, and I actually picked it up for $30.
Well, yeah, but not
Yeah.
everybody's gonna go on CD keys. 'Cause not
Well,
everybody's-
Well,
Yeah,
I mean
they're
that's
kinda-
the thing. I
for
mean,
me
you've got
personally, I think
choices.
they're kinda
Like there
sketchy.
are options. So what do you mean?
Well,
It's
you
kind of
can ju-
sketchy.
you can, for me, I think they're sketchy sites. I don't know. I wouldn't be comfortable. That's just me though. No, you can also torrent the game too though. You don't have to pay anything. So
Yeah, but I
there's
got-
there are
but I-
ways to do it, of course.
I've been reading all
not
of
what
the
anyone's arguing.
criticisms on it on Steam, and like it's just 9 times out of 10 it's because of Uplay
Yeah.
that they can't register the game versus it and all this stuff.
Yeah.
My key came from Uplay, so I registered. Boom, I'm in. I'm playing the game. I'm having a freaking blast because I don't have to worry about all this other bullshit because of the fact that Steam and Uplay don't get along very well.
Yeah,
together.
if every time I have a few Ubisoft games, I never buy them through Steam because every issue I've seen with a Uplay game is 90% of the time going straight through Steam. I don't
Funny
have that
enough,
many.
I haven't had any issues with that.
The only game I have registered to my Steam and Uplay is Far Cry 3. I don't think I had any major issues with that, but after a lot of people complain about it, so I just buy everything on Uplay because
Yep.
either way, I mean, it's like it doesn't matter. It's just another program I have to open. And it's not like I'm gonna.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
not
yeah,
like
because
the
when
end
you
of
if
the
you
world.
launch it from Steam, you're still gonna end up opening.
I
Uplay.
prefer to have everything on Steam because it's in one place, it's centralized. But at the same time, it's like if I don't like that, I can just link it to Steam.
You can. Yeah, I was gonna say you can link it to Steam. So
Yeah,
if
that's
you
what I've
wanna-
done with almost all my
Yeah,
games
so-
at this point.
Yeah.
But
So,
the thing is, too,
that's
is I look at it. I mean, it's a single player versus multiplayer game. If it's multiplayer, I want to have it linked to my Steam account. If it's single player, I don't really give a crap one way or the other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not
So
worried.
okay. So Rivet, have you played the other Far Cry then?
Yeah, I
Okay.
played it. I've played right
So-
from the beginning.
So yeah. So you said it. I mean, so how would you think? Like, if you were to rank them, how would you rank it? So where would you put Primal in that?
To be honest, it's
Yeah.
it's the most enjoyable one I've played since one,
All right, that's
and I
a-
played all of them. Now, I mean, I thought that the differences between 1 and 2 was like it was a completely different game. It had nothing to do with the original Far Cry.
Yeah, well, that's the thing
Original-
about Far Cry,
I mean,
though.
yeah.
None of them.
There's
are
no
connected
tie-ins
directly.
between them all.
Yeah.
And like, and 4 was a completely different game, and I enjoy each one of them for what they are. But I found them to get harder and harder and more difficult. Like the first Far Cry was freaking impossible to beat. Like I couldn't beat that thing unless I put in cheat codes, even on the easiest levels. Like
Yeah.
it was like resources were at a minimum, like bullets were at a minimum. The AI was insane. Like they could shoot me with a pistol from the other side of the map and kill me, and it drove me nuts. But in this one, it's more intuitive because if I'm not paying attention, like if I feel more. How do I put this? This feels more like what I wanted Fallout 4 to feel like, because I am in more of a survival aspect where I don't have access to all of these like fancy tech. I've got a bow and arrow, I've got a spear and a club. I'm either going to get up close and personal or I'm going to try to sneak from a distance. And if I'm really going to be a pansy about it, I send my wolf off to attack them. And then he goes, but he also defends me at the same time. So if I miss a guy, he's off behind me taking care of the enemy, and I turn around and I notice my wolf is off. And if he's hungry, he chews on the guy's face. He takes a leak on him. I mean, I had one of the most enjoyable experiences in the game today. I was just wandering around my village, and I heard this grunting sound. And I thought there were people having sex in the game. I'm like, I got to go find out where this is. And I walked over.
Just grabbing his binoculars.
Yeah, and I was like, this is going to be fun. It's like, finally realism. I walk over, and there is a lady squatting in the bushes, taking a dump, grunting. And I'm like, I love you guys for putting that into the game. That is, to me, that is YouTube gold. But I didn't record it because I didn't have the recording software going. I was like, oh, crap. But
Literally.
I'm going to find her again, and I'm going to videotape her. She's going to be
I just imagine Rivet
thumbnail.
running around, all these people in loincloths, and Rivet's just running around with a little camcorder.
Yeah. Take a crap.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
But I mean, it's a laid back. It's a much more relaxed game than before. I can jump into the story and get like engrossed in the story and in all of the army kind of thing, like warring against the tribes, or I can go off into the woods and go hunting and collect a bunch of leaves and stuff. And I'm having more fun with this than I have in a lot of games in a while. The same reason I had fun with Just Cause 3. I didn't play any of the story. I just flew around in my suit.
Yeah,
flying.
that's an obvious.
That was like that's me.
The big thing it goes back to is just like people. There's two big things. It's like it's a huge industry standard right now that everybody has set. The games have to be perfect or they're absolutely terrible. Like, well, before I go back to that, I really enjoyed the game. I had my qualms with the game, but I still really enjoyed it. It's probably the favorite game I played last year. But also, it's a Ubisoft game, and people are going to hate Ubisoft regardless, just because, I mean, Ubisoft games have been kind of wonky lately. So...
Well, I mean, I got Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I can't play it because they don't support my ATI card.
Yeah.
So I have to play it at low settings. So all the other Assassin's Creed looks just fine. I don't think there's any differences between their engines. I don't think they've ever upgraded it. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. And sometimes that issues like that are sometimes even just being on the PC and not even a developer themselves. I mean, because it's like developers across the board, if they also do consoles, they generally kind of fuck over PC.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes they also do a really good job. So it's always really hit or miss playing a.
We've
playing
had
a-
this
like a-
conversation
playing a PC.
before, and it goes back to consoles is the biggest market. They're going to be the biggest market,
Well, yeah,
and people they're going to focus on that. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate, and I'm really glad the PC market's growing because they're starting to pay more attention. We get things like The Witcher, which is a phenomenal game for PC.
Oh, and GTA 5 was a really
Yeah,
good
GTA
port,
5
too.
support was fantastic. But that
I
game
love
was
it.
that game they milked that game for all it was worth though.
They still are.
But yeah, I mean, it's like they released it
Yeah,
on
I mean-
last gen, right before next gen came out. They released it on next gen, then they waited and put it out on PC. I know a lot of people who bought that game 3 times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bought it.
I got it twice.
The only reason I bought it twice is because I don't have a next gen or a current gen console.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
only
so
bought it
current
last
gen.
gen. And
Loser.
what are you on about?
Yeah, people
Teasing
buy-
you. You got a PC. You're a master race. So you're okay.
No, I thought you were talking about GTA because that's a great
I
game.
feel
I was gonna.
Oh, yeah,
I was
GTA
gonna
5
defend
is
that.
fantastic.
Picking on you for not
Oh.
having the current gen console.
Oh,
because
okay.
I've got a
Oh,
PS4
like-
right now that is a monitor stand because I haven't turned it on in like 4 months. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people bought those. So
Yeah.
I traded in my old stuff for it, and I got it for $20. So hey, I mean, I would have spent $20 on a monitor stand anyway. So why not?
yeah, at least you can
Priorities.
play like Uncharted on there.
That I'm kind of excited to do is the new Uncharted.
Yeah, because
I mean, I'll play that.
some of the PS4 exclusives kind of make me want to get a PS4, but they're just not good. Like they would have to be the greatest game ever in all of time,
It's-
from
it's
the
not-
future
yeah.
and the past for me to actually really do it.
That's what really annoys me about console exclusives, because like these games look fantastic, but I cannot justify paying $400 for a console because of it.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not paying
really should
$400 for a video game. No video game will
Yeah.
ever make
well, yeah,
me
that's
sit
pretty
there.
much what it is too. It's paying $400
Yeah.
plus the 60 for whatever.
I
for the
will
game.
never ever buy a video game for $400, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to buy a new console for it. I'd rather just play PC and hope that eventually they port it.
Well,
It's
now
sort of
you
a shame that
guys.
they don't port Halo over it. Like the only one is like this
Well, that's
a bootleg copy of
yeah,
Halo.
well,
Online.
one of the big things is recently Microsoft's been porting a lot of their games to PC.
Yeah, hopefully they'll
And
do.
I'm kind of sitting here just like, Halo, come on, that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
I think a lot of people are kind of going, come on, get on.
Well, they've been doing it for a while. I know the big thing last year at Gamescom was they were like, we're going to make a big announcement. It's Halo Wars 2. And everyone was like, man, I liked Halo
That
Wars,
it?
but I mean, really?
Yeah, I saw Halo Wars. I saw it on a shelf somewhere, and I went, nah.
Now, have you guys been paying attention to the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War that got released for PC?
Yeah.
And all the other styles on that?
Yeah.
Don't care about Gears of War.
Okay, well, this is my little thing, is when it comes down to current technology, we don't have any DirectX 12 games released as of yet.
No, I don't think new releases. I think a few games have adapted engines for it, but I don't think we've seen a new release come out with
I think what
DirectX 12.
Ashes of Singularity, I think, is the first one.
Yeah, I think there are a few other AAA titles that may be on DirectX 12, but I think it was a
I don't
later
think
patch.
anything else currently, but
I
the Gears of War,
don't know.
the Ultimate Edition,
Yeah.
came out. Now, this is a 2006 technology that they've ported over to Windows 10. You can get it through the game store
Yeah.
or through the Windows store. And they've ported it over, and it's now the official first DirectX 12 title for Windows 10.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It's through with the Windows Store.
no. Unfortunately, is that it is broken for any ATI user.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, that just goes
Because
back
they've
to,
added on an NVIDIA feature that when you play it as an ATI user, your completely screen is covered in little black squares.
what's that wonderful thing of NVIDIA Master Race thing and people
It's
who have ATI
it's
cards
another one of
play.
their GameWorks things, and I was watching a video about it today, and it's just atrocious. Like you've got game titles like Ashes of Singularity, where it's actually developed for DirectX 12, and it's developed both for ATI and NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm.
They both have access to the developer. They can both put in optimizations requests to the developer, but it's up to the developer to actually do so.
Yeah.
And in the current state that it's in, ATI users, especially like the Rage, I think it's the Rage Fury card, it's
The
slaughtering.
R9 Fury. Yeah, I think it's the R9 Fury.
Yeah, the R9 Fury. That card's slaughtering anything on the NVIDIA side because like the architecture that AMD utilized for their video cards is actually being utilized in DirectX 12. And one of the stagnant points that's been happening is that DirectX 11, the way that the instructions go to the video card, sometimes because of GameWorks, it favors it favors all the NVIDIA stuff. That's why we ran into those issues with Witcher 3 when they did the Teslization or the Hairworks. And it's those features that have been breaking the PC gaming for, like, you've got a divide between NVIDIA and ATI users. And right now with DirectX 12, you're going to have that exact same divide because as of right now, NVIDIA has already shown that they've got their new version of GameWorks for DirectX 12 that is going to get in the way of anybody that uses ATI. So if you've got a game developer that is using NVIDIA stuff, not only are you not going to be able to play it as an ATI user, you're not even going to purchase that game. You're not even going to support that developer. And now you've got Hitman, the new Hitman.
Yeah.
Well, that's being
that's
optimized for
DirectX
that's AMD now.
Yeah, good. Need more AMD. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this whole divide thing they're trying to create, and I mean, I can understand why they're doing it because capitalism and NVIDIA needs to make as much money as possible because they're all going to go broke if they don't. I mean, you got to fill those Coke buckets, right? But yeah, it's crazy. It's a shame because there are a lot of good games out there that I'd like to play, but they're like, NVIDIA, you should probably go out and buy a NVIDIA card if you want to do this. So,
Well, the nice thing with DirectX 12, you can have one of each cards in your system.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been reading up on that a
And-
lot. That looks pretty cool.
I'm actually contemplating getting like a 970 and putting it in my system
Yeah.
to run, have both cards running.
Yeah, I've got a second slot. I may do it.
I've got 4. I can go crazy if I want to. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to see what the next
I
generation.
think really almost. I feel like we should fix Crossfire and SLI technology first, because I know a lot of games still don't work with Crossfire and SLI. I think the biggest reason to own one right now is for a render rig.
Yeah, I mean it. A lot of times it comes down to not just driver support, but actually support in the games, and a lot of that's going to come down to, like again, it's DirectX 11. I mean, how that model works for how the instructions go to the video cards is really archaic.
Yeah.
So, like the way that DirectX 12 is using, you could actually use multi-core support. There's a whole bunch of things that are added to that that's going to make functionality of your computer work in tandem with your video cards. So you're going to get a lot more frames. You're going to get a lot more rendered done. And I'm looking forward to what it can do. I mean, what I've seen of some of the gameplay out of the DirectX 12 titles looks amazing. But that's what I'm seeing now. It's like, when you see the video from E3 and then you actually get the game, you're like, oh, well, that doesn't look anything like it.
And that never happens. I don't know what you're talking about.
It happened in every freaking game that ever gets announced at E3.
Yeah, when I look at games at E3, I don't look at the graphics anymore because I know I'm going to be disappointed.
Except
if
it
it
looks
looks
like that Unraveled game seems to have lived up.
I still want to play that game because I want to support the dev.
Well, but it looks like a fun game.
Yeah,
too.
it does. It really does. I just want to support the dev after that speech he gave. It could have been a total BS speech, but still made me well up a little bit. Felt a little sad. But yeah, games.
I didn't hear it, but I'm assuming he cried and asked for help.
Well, he is working with EA, so I would too.
Yeah, he was all nervous and he had a little yarny and it was.
He did a Twitter thing like a month ago where he showed how to make one, a little yarny. I was like, oh man, that's cute.
Like, well, I gotta go.
So, I'm gonna go buy some yarn now.
I've watched some gameplay of that, and it actually looks really cute. And
Yeah.
it does look like it's a game right
it's
now,
got a
so.
very interesting art style behind it, which I really like.
Unfortunately, it's EA, and I don't like that company at all right now. So
Yeah, but yeah.
So has anybody here been getting some randomly weird copyright strikes on old videos on their channel recently?
Always.
I
More
have.
videos.
I have nothing monetized, so probably that's probably why not.
I posted a video. I don't know if you guys saw it because of the whole debate about trolling banning thing. I won't mention any names. But I posted another link. Apparently, some vlogger got
I saw him.
his video flagged because he doesn't even know what it was flagged for. But he was literally sitting on his front porch in the snow.
Yeah.
Oh
talking.
yeah, okay, I heard about that. Yeah,
Like there wasn't anything to do with that could have been copyrighted, and he still got it flagged. So
It's just their terrible
That's
copyright
we
system.
can't let you put that on YouTube.
It's a very
They-
shoot first, ask questions later system. And
the CEO of YouTube kind of indirectly told Grade A Under A, who kind of initially really made a big fuss about it, and he's kind of the one who. Yeah, have you guys seen the comments
make
saying?
YouTube great again.
Yeah, he started that.
Yeah.
So, and it's the CEO of YouTube message added him, and I hate everything and Channel Awesome in a tweet she mentioned saying that we actually are working on it. It'll be a little bit, but stuff is happening, and so everyone's kind of like,
Right.
all right, well, get on it
think
then,
the
because we're
biggest
getting fucked
issue-
over.
The biggest issue running into this whole thing is that people can actually make a copyright claim. Like I can put a claim against Chris on one of his videos and take his monetization, and until either I wait until he makes his counterclaim, and before that I can release the claim, and then he gets his monetization back. Well, I still keep the money up to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
you know
that's an issue. And there's nothing against me.
That's why
currently in the
we're
system.
here to announce we're hereby trademarking the word brew and taking down every single video
You're not.
with the word brew in it.
no, we are.
And
Yeah.
we're monetizing them, we're taking all the money, and we're going to buy shirts.
Yeah, good luck against
And
Tetler.
our
Have fun.
islands.
We're gonna buy shirts and an island made of shirts.
Buy
And,
I'm already ready.
you know,
I'm already
But
sold.
the whole YouTube thing, the big YouTubers, the copyright strikes, they get the channel shut down. They're like, yeah, it's annoying, but we can get it back. And the nice thing is, they're all thinking, okay, but what if I only had a couple hundred subscribers, or if I, less, or anything really less than 1,000, or anything less than a couple 100,000? Like
So
you're
people
pretty
like
much
us.
screwed over.
Yeah.
People like us. We're like, if any of us, any one of us, or all of us, or whatever, if we ran into any of these issues, we would be screwed, and our channels would be gone, and we'd have to restart from scratch. That would mean my 300th video would be for nothing. And I think I think that'd be the biggest tragedy.
We have access to social media. We have access to the same tools that any of the big YouTubers do, and we can actually
But
kick up
they
just
have
as
a
much of
following.
a fuss.
No, but no, we can't, because they have a following we don't.
You actually
That's-
have to get the
They
attention
make-
of somebody.
They
That's
make
You
the
have to get
money
attention,
is the
but
way. I mean, they
it's-
make
there's-
money.
we're
We
at
make
a-
I
we're
made
at
a
a spot where we
$1.90 in like 3 months.
So
they
we,
made like
we could
That's
we
one thing,
could
though.
get the
Millions.
attention and stuff,
Yeah, they
but it
made
would be a
thousands.
lot harder.
It would be a bitch, and
Yeah. It would be
honestly,
a lot
it would,
harder than it would for somebody like Grady Andre.
It
Yeah, 'cause
wouldn't
it's like
stop from trying
every
though.
time some big YouTuber has one of their videos taken down, it's the #1 post on r/videos on Reddit is them just saying, "Oh, my channel got a copyright strike," and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's a bullshit system, but it's like, and
Yeah.
they, like I said though, they realize that they'll be fine because they have that following, but really we wouldn't be. You can try to make fuss about it, but if you're gonna live in the world of reality like the rest of us, then that's not gonna do anything for you.
Yeah,
I don't live in a real world. I don't know what you guys are talking
Yeah,
about.
obviously.
Is-
Our
Yeah.
world's
Real
an
world?
illusion. Our world's an illusion.
You know what? The thing is I would still kick up the fuss and I would
Well,
still
yeah, you
rally
can
up
give,
and
you can give her a whirl, but if we're gonna be honest here, at the size that we're at, it's really not gonna mean much.
it's gonna be like the 12 people watching this right now on Twitter or probably just in the Discord chat, being like, "Wow,
Yeah.
you guys got screwed over."
And
And
they're like, "Oh man, that sucks. I hope you guys be start something new."
You know what though? It only takes one person through association that happens to know somebody that could actually get the word out, and that's how it's happened for a lot of people.
that's
yeah,
why
well,
we're
I mean, some
telling
people
kids.
who already have a following too. Like, I mean, I remember there was a few years ago, Milby had his channel taken down, and
Yeah.
he had kind of a sizable following, especially compared to us. And
Well, he was involved
it
with
wasn't
Minecraft,
it wasn't
so-
until Total Biscuit showed up that he actually
Yeah.
got that all sorted out.
Yeah,
But the thing is, though, it's like it takes one person to actually care
Yeah,
and can make a difference.
yeah. It's
So we all have a voice. We all have the option. The only difference is, Cartooner, is that I would be kicking up a stink to make sure that people would hear my voice. I wouldn't just
Yeah.
cave in and go, "Oh well, I'm going to start over again," because I'm not that kind of person. I
Well,
would.
no, yeah, obviously
Yeah.
you're gonna give it a try, but the chance of anything actually coming from it is so incredibly slim because there's also about 1 billion other people doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to get their voice heard, you know, on YouTube and too. So just because you had your channel taken down doesn't mean anyone's gonna care, for one, you know. So, or anyone's gonna hear it for two. So
yeah.
I would care, and I would make.
you would care, and so obviously that's why you're gonna try it. But
And if
to
your
get someone
channel went
else
down,
to
I would
go
kick
through
up
there.
just the same fuss, Cartooner.
Well, yeah, I would-
Anybody else that
well,
I'm
yeah.
associated
Would you
with.
for me?
That's for sure.
Of course, Black Ops.
Well,
I
no.
mean,
You
I
have a
get all 5
channel?
of your videos put back up again.
6.
And a half.
Yeah. So you'd give it a whirl, but
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is
you gotta.
I'm that guy that would always rally for the underdog.
Well,
I-
yeah, and
Everybody
nothing
gets
wrong
a
with
voice.
that, yeah.
Everybody has access to the same tools. Everybody
not the
should
same
kick up.
audience, not the same
Wouldn't
amount
matter.
of people.
I'm
it does
actually-
matter.
to me.
No, it
I
totally
actually
does
am
matter.
on Cartooner's side here for once.
For once.
For once.
For once, yeah. I do think that you kick up a fuzz, but again, it's not going to unless some larger person comes across it, like what happened with Milby with Total Biscuit finding it and stuff. You have to have the following in order for people to actually listen. The reason that Milby got his account back was because everybody on the internet, pretty much, who watched him, who watched anything about Minecraft, was getting up in arms about it.
Yeah,
And when you have that many
and
people
plus
going
Total
up
Biscuit
against
fans.
you,
Yeah.
when you have something going up against you, especially when Total Biscuit got it, you're going to hear about it and you're going to need to fix it as fast as possible. Otherwise, people are going to get even more violent with you.
It's all about PR.
It's all
See,
about.
I have more faith in people than you guys do. That's the difference.
That's weird. I
it's
don't know why.
absolutely true. I mean, I come from a
Hell's
different
faith.
generation.
Yeah,
What do you mean,
but
faith? You guys,
we grew up on the
you guys
internet.
come from a generation of actually like a lot of narcissism, and you guys are the most shallow and callous people existing on the planet today.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
I'm not criticizing you guys. You guys get your butt hurt over anything, and you'll start rallying over absolutely
I
inane
don't.
points. You guys do, but the thing
I
is,
don't.
Your opinions
is that
suck
if you
and you
had
look
a
stupid.
valid
Don't-
point,
don't
if you
make
had a valid argument and you stuck to your guns and you actually kept your voice going, anybody can affect change. Any single person. It takes one person to make a voice. It takes one other person to hear it. It doesn't matter
get that
who
vocal
hears it.
like
If that
catch on.
person knows somebody else, they can tell somebody else, and that's how
Will
it gets
they-
around. That's how
Will they tell
grassroots
that
things
somebody
happen.
else, though? Will
Do
they
you
tell
think-
that somebody else? That's really where the question comes in.
Then that's up to you to actually make such a valid argument so that
Yeah.
people will listen.
yeah,
Virginia. That's the thing you have to do. And you just
yeah,
can't
but-
just sit here and go, well, that happened. Fuck it. I'm out.
like I said though, you're obviously going to try. I would try. Everyone here would try. But is it going to catch on?
Who cares
like
if
you
it
give it a
doesn't? But if you
whirl,
don't
if
try,
you
it's not
give-
going to happen.
I already
I'll
said
go
you're
down
going to try.
blazing.
But you also have to to know that after a while when it doesn't, you just gotta have to move on. You have to.
No, I don't. Keep
Well,
rallying
okay,
for it.
you don't. You don't. You're right. You don't have to.
Because
I would because I like I
I live in a society where I see things that are happening on a daily basis that if I don't fight for things to change, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to expect somebody down the street to actually fix things for me. I'm not going to
No.
say that, you know what, this guy over here, that's more his problem than my problem, so I don't care about it. That kind of apathy is why we're in the current situation that we're in. And that's in a society level, not just YouTube, not just any of this. And like this whole getting butthurt over stuff and raising a stink and then walking away from it 5 seconds later does nothing. That's what I see happening all the time, Cartooner.
Yeah,
Tell me what's
Say,
going to make you mad.
this has to get fixed, and then they walk away from it. They don't offer a solution. They don't offer any way to get things done.
Well, when it comes to dealing with YouTube, there really generally isn't any way to have a solution unless you can get someone higher up's attention, and that's kind of where this all goes. There was a guy a few years ago. He's part of Hermitcraft. His name's Queen King Happy, and he only a couple months ago got his channel back, and he lost it like 2 years ago. So he had that Hermitcraft following, and people rallied for him, but he still couldn't get his channel back. So
Get it back,
my statement still, he got it after like 2 years. He did get it back. So he, like I said, you keep trying, and he did keep trying, but he also moved on. He continued his college. He continued. I think he started a new channel, but kind of abandoned that after a while. So that was unrelated. But so, yeah, obviously, like I said, you obviously keep trying, but you also have to realize at some point that with dealing with YouTube and dealing with a lot of things on the internet, you gotta just have to not.
You also got to think too, is
to it.
if YouTube is going to keep maintaining this current status quo, and so many people are like, it's not just small YouTubers that are getting affected by this now. It's actually larger channels.
It's the bigger ones who are then now worrying about the smaller ones.
So if this continues on this path, if we're not going to see a paradigm shift in how YouTube handles its content creators, then you're going to see something else open up. Because the same thing happened to MySpace, because they thought that they were unbreakable. They thought that they had the entire social media thing locked down. Facebook came out of nowhere, and now look where they are. What's MySpace anymore? I think it just has bans associated with it. There's nothing else going on there.
Is it still up?
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the whole thing. Is like if there is not that paradigm shift on how this thing is getting dealt with, something else is going to come out of it. And it's going to be people that have been getting crapped on by YouTube and their channels taken down that are going to look for these other venues. And it's going to be a mass exodus, and people are just going to go, you know what? I'm getting treated better over here, and I'm going to go for it. Because right now they have a monopoly on it because there isn't any other competition in actuality. The way that currently.
There's other sites. You have Dailymotion and Vimeo and stuff, but it does. Nothing compares
Well,
to what
it's
you
kind of
can
one
do.
of those things. Someone's going to have to make
they're
something
terrible,
for the creators. It's like,
Well, yeah, that's
I
definitely it,
mean,
too.
they have to make something that caters to the people who
They love
kind of what
PewDiePie,
Discord
who
has
makes them
done.
loads of money.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I was gonna say. Discord and Skype. I mean, Skype is this huge thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the only thing you need to use
Discord
anything
is
else."
developed specifically for gamers.
Yeah,
that's kind
I mean,
of what.
eventually there's gonna come
is.
along some websites, probably in development right now. That's just like we're here for the content creators. You come to us. Who's not just caught up in corporate.
I can
stuff.
almost guarantee you that will come by the end of this year. I can almost guarantee that. The way things are on YouTube right now, someone is already typing up their code. They're typing up their page, and they're getting it already they're buying their servers because they're thinking, I care about content on the internet. I care about what YouTube content creators are doing, but I know that YouTube is screwing them over. I'm gonna take advantage of this situation, and they're gonna come to my site, and I can guarantee you it's already being worked on.
I hope they got deep pockets.
And we're calling it BrewGamingNetwork.com.
No, so someone
BrewTube?
has a vision, and
We're gonna be
they're
BrewTube.
BrewTube.
Yeah.
One of us.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's been announced. Congratulations. Give us all of our monies.
Yay.
Buy billions of shirts so we can fund this. So we can
And
actually
the
pay
island.
the people who we want to work on our site. But kind of the problem with that is, yes, I think that eventually something like that will come along, but they're going to get sued by all these massive companies that have been suing YouTube for years. Because that's part of the reason why YouTube is the way it is, because they had the big Viacom thing that happened a few years ago. Viacom sued them, and they're like, oh, we're backing away from that. Who's to say Joe Schmo, when he makes BrewTube or whatever he's going to make, is going to be like, Viacom comes up and it's like, well, here's a $100 million lawsuit. He's going to be like, bye, guys. I don't have $100 million.
Host your servers on the moon. There's
Yeah.
no-
Yeah, listen, there are a lot of people. I'm sure there's already a lot of sites already out there right now, but it's what's really gonna stick. And well, I think I still think it'll happen by
I
the
think
end
it
of this
will
year.
happen. I
It's
don't know how
something
long
that-
it'll
it's
be
someone
around
who's
for.
smart about it, and so because there's gonna be Mark Zuckerberg, that people kind of saying he's really smart on how he did Facebook and all that, and that's why he's so rich right now. So someone else kind of like him, just some guy in his garage, he has some servers set up, and he'll do it, or she'll do it, or
Revolutionize.
whoever will do it. He'll revolutionize how things are. YouTube will either step up their game and close him down, and they'll actually be a decent site, or YouTube will go away, and this guy, Joe Schmo and BrewTube will take over everything, and people will move over there, and
Yeah.
it'll be a better place. But like I said, though, it'll have to be a really smart person to do it. It won't,
Yeah, it'll have to be
it can't
someone.
just be any run-of-the-mill video site.
It's gonna
Yeah.
have to be someone, I think, with enough money to fund something like this, especially if they plan on bringing content creators who want to be paid, because this is a lot of people. This is the way a lot of people make their money.
I think that's the huge thing with why people stick with YouTube is because while there are other options out there, YouTube's the only one that actually gives you revenue.
I know Twitch said they wanted to get into the video streaming game, like YouTube style. I haven't heard anything out of that in about a year. But I think
now that they have
Twitch might
Amazon
be able-
money,
Yeah, they've got Amazon money, and I think Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I think if anybody's going to do it, Twitch would be one of the ones I'd be watching because they've already got a huge following. I know they kind of stepped up their copyright game, but it's nowhere near as bad as YouTube.
Yeah,
And
they would have to if they ever did officially get into the video.
Yeah, I
part.
mean, plus, I mean, Amazon, being their parent company, in my experience, I've never had a major problem with Amazon. I wouldn't see them being as greedy as Google is, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Because they already have lots of revenue sources, so I don't see them.
I
being
mean, they've
really,
got the money. If Viacom comes up, it's
this-
like, we're going to see you for $100 million, and they're like, okay, there goes that
that's
Coke
it.
bucket.
All right, here you go. Get out of here.
Well,
Yes,
the
this
thing
guy's
that
not
has to
getting his
change is
reaction.
not just what's happening; is like the current copyright laws have to be updated for current standards.
Yeah,
Well, that's true. Like weren't a lot of these laws passed by Bill Clinton?
well, that's the thing is like
Or
the
needs to
internet.
be-
It's
The internet for the longest time was kind of the Wild West, where there was no regulation. The Black Ops just disappeared. But
he
like,
turned off his computer.
yeah, like a few years
Nah, I'm
ago,
still here.
like it's probably less than 10 years ago, the government was like, wait a minute, no one's regulating this. We need to step up regulating this. And all these companies were like, hey, we can
I'm
start
still
making
here.
some money if we elbowed into there. And they started regulating it super hardcore. And that's just kind of what led to what we are at right now, which is kind of a battle of, does the internet stay free? Because this is something we've never seen before on a global scale. This is the first time we've had something like this. It's the biggest means of communication we've had in our history.
Oh, look at us! We're from like different countries, as well as
States.
different parts of the
We're- yeah,
country.
we're
Complete
from all
people,
over.
5
Yeah.
people from
Yeah.
completely different backgrounds, from completely different countries, talking right now to people from different countries of different backgrounds. This 50 years ago, if you'd ask somebody like this, they'd say you're crazy. Quit smoking all those drugs.
Black Ops, what are you doing?
I
Why does
don't
your
know.
lights keep on going on and off?
There is no lights going on and off.
Like,
Is
it's
there
like
now
it'll go
black
green
out?
to
Goes
black,
black.
and then you'll pop.
Are
up
you
again,
going
and
to
it'll
like
be black.
a black web page?
Quit
Is that
doing
the
all
only
those
light you got?
drugs.
Quit doing your damn drugs and
I don't know what you
internet
guys are
and
saying.
Sitting
You
there
guys
with
must
your
be the
crack
ones
bong.
tripping.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the internet is just such a crazy thing, and no one's really sure how to handle it right now.
Yeah, well, and it's it's like it's one of those things that you don't really have to. We're here regulating it ourselves.
Yeah,
So,
but at the same
The
time,
government
it's-
kind of has to gotta go. Ooh, we gotta be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I did a paper on this last semester for English, so I like to think I'm fairly knowledgeable on it. But I mean, it's crazy. Just
It's
when you
coming up, yeah.
step back, you look at the internet, and it's like, oh, that's a really cool thing. But when you actually step back and look at it and all of its little intricacies and everything that's going on right now, involving everything from encryption to how YouTube's handling its copyright, it's just absolutely insane what this is and what we're actually dealing with right now.
Yeah.
And that's basically it's a group of people, not just the U.S. government, it's governments all around the world and corporations trying to get a handhold on something that is very, very hard to grasp.
Yeah,
It's
'cause,
very,
I mean,
very hard
'cause
to contain.
A lot of people on the internet already know more than a lot of people in the government
Yeah,
do.
that-
so they
that
can,
too.
yeah, they're able to.
A vast
you know,
majority
in
of
and
the
out
people, a vast majority of
you
the
know.
people that are trying to regulate the internet probably couldn't send a tweet without the assistance of their 15-year-old secretary or whatever.
Yeah, that's
We-
definitely.
Well, and to play devil's advocate here, I mean, I don't think necessarily that YouTube is malicious in its intentions. I know
Oh,
what they're
no.
doing I understand why they're doing what they're doing, and I get it.
Oh, yeah.
The unfortunate side effect of what they're currently doing is that the way that it's set up currently is that there's no checks and balances for the people that are putting out strikes against people, and that the
that's really
ramifications
what
lie solely on the content creator, not the person putting the strike out. I have a friend who makes music. He got a strike against himself for his own music, for putting it up in one of his videos, and he owns the rights to it, so he had to go and submit it. He doesn't mind doing that because he's paying a company to maintain that for him, and that works. That I get.
Yeah.
But when I've got somebody that has no right to anything, like let's say I'm walking down the street and I'm showing a picture of my face in the sky, my video gets taken down because somebody said that they own that copyright
It
material.
goes back to the React thing.
But
Does
the
it?
issue is the
Oh, yeah.
fact
I mean,
that
you
the
can-
person that takes that down, what is the ramifications to that person? There
Yeah.
isn't any right now. There's no checks
I
and
mean-
balances. The checks and balances are all on our end,
Yeah, it's
not theirs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, it's a very shoot first, ask questions later system, and it's
Right.
all. And Google is letting this happen because they're like, we don't want to get sued again. I mean,
Well, yeah.
we
And
got
so
the,
it's like-
they probably got the money to be sued again, but they don't want to.
Well, really, what it comes down to is that the government's making them have these copyright regulations.
Well, it's not the
on their
government.
site.
It's the.
Well, it's like government copyright laws is what it is.
Well, yeah, but for the most part,
That's why they have
it's-
to have these.
Well, I mean, they had these
things
government
in effect.
copyright laws 5, 6, 7 years ago, but you could upload a song, a copyrighted song 5, 6, 7 years ago and not have to worry about it. It was up until
but then they got-
Viacom sued
They
Google.
start getting sued for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so it's
now they're like,
corporations.
all right, well, we gotta kind of get this going. We gotta
Yeah.
And there's also
the
the thing
regulations.
of fair
Hold on.
use practices as well.
Well, yeah, there's fair use, and that's really where a lot of the issues come in right now. Is because like the guy with on his porch, that's obviously there's no use of anything except for his own face. That's dumb. But there's also people who will okay. So there's the React channels. Is this what you're talking about?
Like I was thinking of just like people trademarking stupid stuff and trying to control stupid
yeah,
stuff.
I don't know how really that is, but I'm thinking like people like who those React channels that they upload a video in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're
Like
just
stuff like
they're-
that. Yeah.
pretty good.
I don't know.
And then that's it, and they don't get taken down. But then people like, so I had everything has been, I think I had his channel taken down for a couple days, and
A couple of weeks, I think it was.
everything, well, whatever, some amount of time, and everything about his channel is fair use. He's very good about following these community guidelines.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what Great Andrea was talking about in some of his videos about this whole thing, and and everyone's very mad now that it's like, all right, so you have these community guidelines, you have these copyright laws, so why are these good channels getting taken down for them, and why are the bad channels still around? And so the issue isn't even in the copyright laws or in how they're or in Viacom's doing YouTube however many years ago. It's really about YouTube not paying attention to what's
to its
going
own
on.
Yeah.
community guidelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like so they
Well, they're just letting-
send out their bots and go.
Well, basically, what YouTube does is basically it's just here's this thing, here's this platform. We're just here to hold this platform. What goes on that platform, we don't really care as long as we get a cut of the money that's made on that platform.
Well, really, what they say is as long as it follows our community
Yeah,
guidelines.
as long as it follows
But they
this,
don't
we
totally
have a
follow-
set of rules on this platform, which is a better way to phrase it. As long as those rules aren't broken and we get the money, just go about your
whatever.
ways. And when enough people on that platform start yelling at Google, then they say, okay, we're going to regulate it a little bit better. We're going to change this one little thing, whether it's one company taking down people's videos or.
I think we're sitting right now on a cusp of a huge change in the
Yeah.
industry
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
how everything's being
Is it
run.
the industry though, Cartooner?
This is an industry. You
is.
can't take that
Yeah,
one out.
it's
It's funny thing
yeah.
is, so there's
Because
lots
when
of
it comes to
change,
using
revolution-
English, I'm good at it.
We're revolutionaries.
there's lots of change and revolution coming politically in government and whatnot, or hopefully, and there's
Supposedly.
lots of change and revolution coming on in the internet and and even in high school sports, there seems to be a lot of change and revolution happening.
You just trying to
There's-
drag
there's
Black
a-
Ops back into
They're
this?
getting rid of it.
There's the state hockey tournament happening this weekend.
Oh yeah.
And I don't follow it all, but my teacher's telling me that, or not me, the class, that some of the teams that are playing this year are normally the teams that get out right away, and some of the teams that normally play are the ones who are normally in, or no, they got out right away. Normally, yeah, so you understand. So everything's changing there. Everything's changing everywhere. Everything's changing. all
Well,
over the
we
place.
live in the times of change. If you look at the
Yeah.
difference since the year 2000 to where we are sitting right now,
Oh yeah.
things are so drastically different. And I mean, I think Rivet could probably speak on this more than any of us.
Oh, yeah.
because he's witnessed it more. But we are in the times of change right now.
for sure.
things are
We've
changing.
always been in the times of change.
Well, yeah, but I
But
mean, things are
it's-
changing very, very fast. I think really over like the past
Yeah,
100
it's-
years.
I think yeah.
You look
basically
back over
it's
the past
speed
100
of how
years,
things
things have
changing, yeah.
moved so rapidly and change.
I mean, I've just seen the technology change in my lifetime has
Yeah.
been exponential.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that. Even in my lifetime,
Yeah.
is absolutely insane. It's like beepers and pagers were cool back then, and now it's like I have this.
I remember-
I have a phone on my arm right now.
I remember thinking it was
Yeah.
so cool in elementary school that I had my own floppy disk.
Yeah, floppy disks. I remember those were
Yeah,
cool.
floppy disks.
Today, there are people in computer science classes who have no idea what floppy disks are.
I remember
Yeah,
when
that's
floppy disks
terrifying.
were actually floppy. Your guys' idea of a floppy disk is actually a hard plastic case.
Yeah, they used to have the giant ones that you could wiggle that
Yeah,
run
there
our
was like
nuclear
like
nuclear
5.5
launch
inch
codes.
Versus 3 1/4.
but
And then we
yeah.
had the ones that were bigger than that. I remember falling asleep when I was a child on a hard drive that I think had 200 megs.
There's
or
always
no,
that
200
picture.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'm
love
sure.
Or no,
there's-
no,
It was
8K or something like. It was some
there's-
stupid amount.
There's one
And it was
picture.
like an
There's one
8-foot
picture on the
wide
internet.
case.
There's one picture on the internet that floats around every now and again that I absolutely love, and it's this massive thing being loaded into a plane, and it's like that's a
Yeah.
124-bit drive, and it's like this is an 8 gigabyte flash drive right here. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. That was like
crazy.
in the 50s,
Yeah.
and now look, I have the tiny little metal thing with the zip tie tied around it. That,
So okay, another example. This, how many pixels and whatnot, and how the quality of picture that this can take.
that's several pixels.
It's like 3 pixels.
3, maybe 4.
Now, and now you take like a film camera, with actual film and
Yes.
stuff, and those things are huge, and there's a big debate about it within film people, film really assholes, I'd say.
Hmm.
They're like, well, what's actually better though? But it's like, but you still take size wise and just compare how the
To the
picture
naked
quality
eye.
of both of it. It's
To the
kind of
naked
like, holy
eye,
crap.
it's crazy. I mean,
I'm just
God.
excited. Like I've got a GoPro that I can attach to a stand on my bicycle, and I can like ride around and have 1080p at 60 frames
Yeah.
Oh
recorded
yeah,
on
they're
that little.
Yeah.
tiny. Yeah,
Tiny.
it's
yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy, and it's in one of those times where people are trying to figure out. It's a group of people who are out of touch with.
Yeah.
I mean, not entirely. I don't want to speak for everyone because somebody's gonna get mad in some way, but
I'll
there's a
say
group
that
of people who are
everyone
mostly just
is
for the sake of
definitely-
this argument that are mostly out of touch, who
Mm-hmm.
are trying to regulate something they know nothing about that no one wants regulated. And
It's
Yeah.
it's really funny is that my generation, people my age, are so out of touch with the technology.
oh yeah, oh
And
yeah.
yet we were raised in it. I'm one of the anomalous people that actually still stays within the technology.
That's what I
So,
like. That's I mean, I love when people like that appear. I mean, it's crazy.
my dad is in his 70s, and he's traveled around the world with an iPad, saying that it's actually a computer. And he was like, he talks from selling computers when they were the size of like a huge room in a university. Like
Yeah.
this is what he did when I was a kid, and like he's still staying up on technology.
Yeah.
Of course, he's an Apple fanboy, and we have our disagreements about that. But that's cool. I mean, that's my dad and I. Like I've been the
Yeah.
PC guy. He's been the Mac guy ever since the late 80s. So,
Yeah.
but he started off as a PC guy.
Same kind of guy. Like, I mean, Rivet, my dad is the same age as you, and he's still he's a programmer. He's really up on technology. He's not.
But I'm
Yeah.
shocked,
Video games,
like
but
how many
he's
people
great
I
at
see my
technology.
age that are looking at their phones like, I don't even know how to turn it on.
I'm
like,
shocked at the number of people my age that don't know how to turn it on. I run.
Yeah.
I have to run tech support very frequently in my college computer science classes because people break their computers. It's terrifying, and it's just.
So what's the point of being in that class if they're not? If these people
I
are,
don't know. It's
can't
like I
even
remember
fix
like
their
the
own
third day of class, my programming teacher made some offhanded remark about a floppy disk and the correlation between the floppy disk and the save button being a floppy disk, and someone's like, "Oh, that's what a floppy disk is," and I just turned around, I looked at my professor, and I was like, "This is a special child. Can we transfer him to another section?"
That's
I had one of these amazing moments this week where I was doing tech support with my son.
Mhm.
fun.
I had like the best time. Like we used Skype, and he had it on his. No. This was actually, it was finally useful. He was taking a video card out of one computer, putting it into another one. And I've been trying to talk him into doing this for like the past 8 months, and he's finally at a point where he's like, okay, let's give this thing a shot, because he was nervous about getting into a computer. He'd never done that before.
Yeah.
So I
Reasonable,
I
man.
walked
First
him
time,
through.
it's
Yeah,
always nervous.
Yeah, I mean, he's 12, and
Yeah.
you know, I get it. So I walked him through how to open up the case, and you know, the first case was an old HP thing that had all these latches and stuff, and it was frustrating. He got the case open, he got into it, and I'm like, okay, now you just have to undo the screw on the top, and he goes, "There's no screw," and then he had to take his iPod and show me with Skype, and he was holding the camera inside the computer, and I got to like walk him through 2,000 miles away how to rebuild a computer in essence.
That's crazy.
And we were able to do
Pretty
it.
nifty.
And it was amazing. And I said to him
remind
at
you
the
of
end of it,
anything,
I'm like,
Cartoon?
"So did you have fun doing that?" And he goes, "It was a blast."
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
I'm
it
like-
reminds me of something.
Yeah, you guys,
Funny story. But yeah,
you guys have tech support.
technology's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It is
That's why I love being a
bananas.
part of the technology industry, and following it really really closely. And I like staying up on the trends and stuff. But I mean, it's crazy. Just like we talked about a few weeks ago, the new it's not hard drive, but the little chip that can store like
glass
600 terabytes of
Oh, yeah,
information
the
in
little-
it.
isn't it a
And
little
it's-
glass-
Yeah, it's like a
little
little
glass thing?
glass chip. It's like that big. It's like
Yeah.
the size of a quarter, and it can store hundreds of terabytes of information on it.
I think it was like 350
It-
terabytes
yeah,
or
it's
something.
something like that.
was
Somebody can go back
insane.
and correct us later, but it's crazy.
Imagine how many games you could put on there.
Yeah, look at that. That's like my hard drive's full, and I only have like 60 games on it.
And at the rate our technology is going, that's going to be the norm in 20, 30 years probably. And
Oh, I would even say before that.
Yeah.
honestly,
we're gonna
like,
we're
like-
gonna think back to now, and we're like right now, 2 terabytes is amazing to have.
Well, I took apart a few months ago. I took apart the first computer. I mean, this is the first computer I ever owned, which was like myself I ever owned. My family owned older computers, but I had like an old Windows XP, and it's like I was taking it apart and looking at all the different parts. And it's like the RAM. It's like 250 megabytes. It's like and a
Holy
hard
shit.
drive's like 10 gigabytes, and it's like wow, and it's just crazy. That was maybe 10 years ago.
yeah, and,
And
and,
my-
and then
like
like
I said,
my
my
phone
watch.
has way more than that.
Yeah, my
It's
watch has 2
crazy.
gigabytes of RAM.
Your
My
watch.
Pentium
My
It's
watch has
133.
2 gigabytes of RAM.
I think that's more than RAM than Black Ops has.
Yeah, that's more pixels
gonna
than
check
Black
out
Ops
for a night.
has.
I'm gonna
There's
check
more
out for tonight. I got
pixels.
some tests to do tomorrow.
Good night, Black Ops.
Oh yeah, we're like an hour and 6 minutes
Oh.
into this right now.
I am good with pixels, all right?
Our
Don't you see
technology
me?
talk kind
I'm
of
beautiful.
Yes,
drags us
all
out.
18 of your pixels today.
All
Black
18
Ops,
pixels.
You look beautiful.
More
Somebody want
pixels
to buy
than
me a new
cartooners
computer?
can.
I mean, I can always fix that. Somebody want to buy it for me?
No,
Exactly.
just do it yourself.
Just play some games on the watch.
Yeah.
Somebody
There
actually ported the
we go.
Pip-Boy app for the phone to the Android Wear. I need to check it out.
Well, that's cool.
I really want to use it.
So are we going to call our episode here?
I think we should, because Black Ops left and we were an hour and 7 minutes in at this point. We've had a very hefty talk about technology, and we all know at this point that technology is really cool.
And
And
Cartooner
Yeah.
can talk faster than anybody.
Cartooner almost set fire to the set,
Who knew?
talking about whatever arbitrary thing we were talking about an hour
It was
ago.
about the Fallout 4 DLC and how
whatever
everyone,
arbitrary thing
everyone being mad about it.
we were talking about 4 hours ago.
Can't like
5 weeks
I
ago.
just
7
I
years
still
ago.
I still cannot believe people got mad about it. 'Cause it's like people. It's like someone had a gun to their head saying you have to buy it, and everyone's going, no, I don't
He's
like
speeding
it.
up.
It's like you don't have to.
He's speeding
I'm going to
up.
have to
That's-
do a
it.
rant about your
it.
rant, Cartooner.
Yeah, I want to see that.
All right, go ahead, have fun.
And all those cartooner fanboys who haven't seen
It's
his new
going to take me
video.
7 hours to
Cartooner
slow down your
fanboys.
dialogue and get
all
it through.
one. Yeah, anyways,
All
we got to end
zero.
this because I actually
Later.
have stuff to do and I really have
Me
to
too.
pee. So
Me
yeah,
too.
thanks for
Right.
watching. You people are really cool. If you stuck around this far, go rant.
I'm sorry.
Go rant
Go
about
subscribe
something.
to my channel and not
Rant.
there.
Look at
'Cause I
technology.
do that.
Be old or don't be old. It's up to you. I don't care. I have to go now because I really have to pee.